Alright, everyone, gather round. Welcome to AI Sports Predictor, the place where the numbers tell the story. Tonight, we've got the Philadelphia 76ers squaring off against the Detroit Pistons, a battle of experience versus raw ambition. Let's break it down. The 76ers are coming off a 108-101 loss to the Heat. Tyrese Maxey put up another 31-point game, his 7th consecutive performance over 30. Impressive, no doubt. But when one player consistently carries that much of the load, cracks tend to show. Joel Embiid's back with a triple-double after limited action this season. And Paul George. He's back too, but 9 points against the Heat doesn't exactly scream game-changer. Philly's ranked 25th in scoring and plays one of the slowest paces in the league. They rely on methodical half-court sets and hope their stars shine bright enough. But when you're 11th in the Eastern Conference and desperate for wins, you can't just hope, you need execution. On the flip side, Detroit is hungry. Yes, they've lost back-to-back games, and yes, they're dealing with several key players listed as game-time decisions: Cade Cunningham, Tobias Harris, and Malik Beasley among them. But don't overlook the fight in this team. Cade just dropped 38 points. And if he's cleared to play, that's a spark Philly's defense isn't prepared for. The Pistons rank 7th in pace, and they're ready to push the tempo, outrunning the 76ers at every turn. Jalen Duren is cleaning up the boards with his double-double averages, and Malik Beasley, one of the league's most efficient deep shooters, can punish defenders if given space. They may not have all the firepower on paper, but they have momentum on their side. And today's AI pick is the Detroit Pistons Moneyline. Our AI model sees value here, factoring in Detroit's fast pace, potential player availability, and Philly's inconsistency on the road. This isn't just a bet, it's a calculated decision backed by trends and data. Let's see if the Pistons can turn the tide tonight. And now, on to Game 2.
And we're back. Buckle up, folks, because we're heading down to the ATL for Game 2, Milwaukee Bucks versus Atlanta Hawks. The Bucks are strutting in after snapping a 4-game losing streak, but the Hawks, they've got something to say about that. Let's dive into it. Milwaukee's latest win over Charlotte was clean, 50.6% shooting from the field and 42.9% from three. Lillard was cooking with 29 points and 12 assists, and Bobby Portis made a big statement with 23 points and 17 rebounds. But let's not kid ourselves, this team is still finding its groove after moving Chris Middleton to Washington and bringing in Kyle Kuzma. Kuzma's a solid addition, but he's having a down year, and chemistry takes time to build. Here's where things get dicey. Giannis Antetokounmpo is questionable with a calf injury. Even if he plays, will he be at full strength? Without Giannis at 100%, Milwaukee's interior presence becomes vulnerable. Now, the Hawks. I know the article's already written them off, but let's rethink that. Yes, they lost a close one to the Spurs. And yes, Jalen Johnson's out for the season. But Trae Young is probable, and when Trae's on the court, this team has a different spark. Young's averaging 23.2 points and 11.5 assists per game, and he'll be driving the tempo like he's got somewhere important to be. Atlanta's got some weapons, too. Onyeka Okongwu is a force in the paint, and Caris LeVert is another solid pickup from the deadline. Sure, their defense isn't the best, but they can outscore you if they catch fire. And here's the kicker. They're 9th in the league in scoring, putting up 116.1 points per game. Milwaukee is 5-5 in their last 10, and the Hawks have covered the spread 5 times in that span. Our AI model, factoring in injuries, player trades, and Milwaukee's road inconsistency, sees value here. And today's AI pick is the Atlanta Hawks plus 5.5. Because this isn't just about talent, it's about opportunity. And right now, the Hawks have the perfect chance to keep it close or even steal this game outright. Let's see how this one plays out. And now, on to Game 3.
And now, Game 3, Cleveland Cavaliers versus Washington Wizards. One team at the top, the other scraping the bottom, but hey, we've seen crazier things happen on the hardwood. Let's talk Cleveland. The Cavs are on fire, coming off a tight win over Detroit, 118-115. Evan Mobley lit up the stat sheet with 30 points, 9 boards, and 7 assists, dominating inside and out. This team is the second best offense in the league, averaging 122.2 points per game while shooting 49.7% from the field. They're 5th in assists, sharing the ball like they're running a clinic. Their defense, top-notch, holding opponents to just 111.9 points per game. Now, Washington. The Wizards, sitting at 941, are essentially the NBA's punching bag this season. Sure, they just beat Brooklyn, 119-102, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Jordan Poole had 19 points and 8 assists. But their team defense is a disaster. They rank dead last, allowing 121.3 points per game. Cleveland is a team that forces turnovers, rebounds well, and punishes teams in transition. Meanwhile, the Wizards cough up the ball 16 times per game and are ranked 25th in opponents' shooting percentage. Add those up, and you've got a mismatch waiting to happen. And today's AI pick is Washington Wizards plus 117.5. Our AI model sees value here, factoring in the large spread, Washington's recent win over Brooklyn, and Cleveland's tendency to play close games. Like their narrow 118-115 win over Detroit. With the Wizards getting 17.5 points, this isn't about winning, it's about keeping it competitive. Let's watch this play out. Let's see how this one plays out. And now, on to Game 4.
And now, Game 4 Toronto Raptors vs. Oklahoma City Thunder. Two teams with very different seasons, but both share one thing: speed. So, who's ready to keep up? Let's start with the pace. The Raptors rank 10th in the league, averaging 100.06 possessions per game. The Thunder aren't far behind, sitting at 7th with 100.63 possessions per game. Translation: this game is going to be fast. Toronto's struggling, no doubt about it. They're 16-35, coming off a brutal 138-107 loss to Memphis. They allow a staggering 116.8 points per game. And their opponents shoot well against them, 47.1% from the field and 36.3% from beyond the arc. Offensively, they're 20th in scoring, putting up 111.2 points per game. RJ Barrett leads them at 21.6 ppg, but his availability is questionable due to a concussion. Oklahoma City, on the other hand, is a team on a mission. They're sitting at 49, leading the Western Conference. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is on another level, dropping 50 points in their recent blowout win over Phoenix. The Thunder's offense is elite, averaging 117.6 points per game on 47.5% shooting. Defensively, they're just as impressive, allowing only 104.6 points per game. Both teams crash the boards well and capitalize on second-chance opportunities. The Raptors are 9th in second-chance points with 14.7 per game, while the Thunder sit 17th with 13.9. But here's the thing: OKC's ability to control possessions and punish defensive lapses is the X factor. And today's AI pick is the over 233.5 total points. Both teams push the pace, and with the Thunder's offensive firepower against a shaky Raptors defense, this one is shootout written all over it. Let's see how many buckets fall tonight. And now, on to Game 5.
All right, everyone, listen up. Malachi here, and you know when I step up, we're about to stir the pot. Game 5 is upon us. And it's Utah Jazz versus Phoenix Suns. The Jazz just caught everyone off guard by taking down the Warriors. But don't let that fool you. There's more to this story. Let's talk about Utah first. They're sitting at 12-37, and sure, they just pulled off a thrilling 131-128 win against Golden State. They shot 52.2% from the field, and Jordan Clarkson was electric with 31 points and 5 assists. Walker Kessler grabbed 18 boards and blocked 3 shots, a monster performance. But here's the problem. This team is inconsistent. Turnover-prone, and ranked 26th in points allowed per game, giving up 118.6. They struggle defensively and rely too much on scoring bursts that don't always show up. Now, the Suns. Don't let their 25-25 record and recent losses fool you. They just got smacked by OKC, 140-109. But let's not forget that this team has Bradley Beal and Devin Booker on the floor. 2 scorers capable of flipping the script at any moment. Beal dropped 25 points and 6 assists in their last game, and Booker added 19. Their offense ranks 9th in the league in field goal percentage at 47.6%, and they can torch you from deep when they get hot. What's the key tonight? Rebounding and turnovers. The Suns have struggled on the boards, ranking 20th in defensive rebounds per game. But Utah is turnover prone, averaging 17.5 per game, and that's going to cost them. Phoenix can exploit those mistakes and create easy transition points. And today's AI pick is the Phoenix Suns, 8.5. Our model sees the Suns controlling the boards and capitalizing on Utah's defensive lapses. With their offensive firepower, expect Phoenix to dominate the pace and keep Utah chasing from start to finish. Let's recap all 5 of today's AI picks. Detroit Pistons, Moneyline Atlanta Hawks, plus 5.5, Washington Wizards, plus 117.5, over 233.5 points in the Raptors vs. Thunder Phoenix Suns, 8.5. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more AI-driven sports insights. We'll see you next time.